It seems we're all very interested in superfoods and in eating superfoods because they're obviously nutrient dense and very good for us. What if I told you there's a forgotten superfood that 200 years ago would have been served on every table in the world, but nowadays often gets left behind? It's full of vitamins and minerals and amino acids and fatty acids and all kinds of other stuff we'll talk about. It's also very cheap. It's also readily available, and it doesn't have to be shipped from some exotic location around the world. I'm talking about liver. It can be chicken liver, beef liver, pork liver, sheep liver, goose liver. Liver is a superfood, is what I'm going to try to convince you of in this video, and I'm going to show you some black and white information that makes it hard to deny. You often hear that this plant or that plant is a superfood. Blueberries are often talked of as a superfood. Kale is probably the most commonly spoke about superfood that you hear about. Indeed, I did a Google search, kale superfood, and found over 3.8 million hits. So obviously people are interested and people believe that kale is a superfood. And so in this Superfood Showdown, I wanted to show you 4 different foods, 2 of which are alleged to be superfoods, and show you the black and white numbers, and then let you decide which one's actually a superfood and which one should you definitely include in your diet. Now, if you hate liver currently, I understand. I used to hate liver as well. I'm going to show you a couple of things at the end of this video that will help you get all of the amazing nutrition in liver while you're learning to like it, because you can. There is such a thing as palate education. If you grew up eating junk food and cereals and fast food, and today you feel like a balanced diet is chicken strips and ketchup, you've got some educating to do for your palate, for your tongue and its ability to detect different flavors. As you're teaching your tongue to like the taste of actual real food, you can use these 2 things for the few months that it takes to do that. Now, I want to know in the comments, do you like liver? Do you hate liver? Or do you love liver? Put your preference in the comments. I want to see what the count is of hate versus like versus love. We hear all the time about the magical phytonutrients in plant-based foods, but what about the magical ZooNutrients in animals? So that's what you would call a nutrient that's found in animal-based food, is a zoonutrient, okay? There are actually hundreds of nutrients in liver and in meat itself, and I'm going to go through a few charts to show you kale and blueberries compared to just cheap ground beef and compared to what I consider the ultimate superfood, liver. I'm going to use a simple chart to show you these facts. This chart comes from the excellent book by my friend Maria Emmerich called Keto, the Complete Guide to Success on the Ketogenic Diet. I'll put a link down in the show notes to this book if you want to check it out. But in this chart, we're going to compare these 4 foods and see which one is actually a superfood. All these values are based on 100 grams, or about 3.5 ounces, of the alleged superfood. And the light green is second place, and the dark green squares are the winner in each category. So which one of these is a superfood? I think it's comical that you can tell right off the bat that just cheap ground beef actually has much more nutrition than blueberries or the alleged superfood kale. But let's talk about which one wins the contest in the majority of cases. First, let's look at potassium, and you can tell it's not even close. Liver blows kale out of the water when it comes to potassium. Just beneath potassium is iron. You can see, once again, liver just blows kale out of the water. It's not even close. Liver has much more bioavailable iron than kale ever dreamed of having. What about zinc? Again, liver completely wins this. It's not even a close race. Much more bioavailable zinc in liver than kale ever dreamed of having. Now, here's one that you're really going to enjoy. You've probably been told that kale is a rich source of vitamin A. The truth of the matter is that kale actually contains no vitamin A whatsoever. Kale is rich in beta-carotenoids, which in some people can be partially converted into real vitamin A, but kale contains no real vitamin A whatsoever. Were you aware of that? So again, liver is rich in vitamin A, so much so that many doctors will caution patients not to eat too much liver. You might get vitamin A toxic. There's never been a single reported case reported this in the literature. I've looked and looked. You're going to get all the vitamin A you need. That you don't have to convert beta carotenoids into vitamin A. It's just there in this superfood that we call liver. Next is vitamin C. I'm sure you've been told that if you want to get any vitamin C whatsoever, you have to eat lots of citrus fruit, lots of berries. Beef liver, any liver, if it's fresh, actually contains a good supply of vitamin C. Were you aware of that? Many people would be like, no, animal products can't have any vitamin C. That's impossible. Not true. Liver is a great source of vitamin C. Next, let's focus on vitamin B6, which is a cofactor in hundreds of reactions in your body. It's absolutely vital for optimal health. Again, beef liver blows kale out of the water, leaves it crying in the dust. What about vitamin B12? That's very important for overall health. Again, beef liver, it's not even close. It wins running away. And then finally, what about folate? Some people, especially pregnant women, are told to really get lots of folic acid. What the doctor means to say is to eat lots of naturally occurring, highly bioabsorbable folate. That's what you should actually be focusing on. And once again, beef liver is head and shoulders above kale when it comes to folate content that you can actually use. Now, we're not even going to get into the fact that liver is a much richer source of vitamin B2, vitamin B9, choline, all of the amino acids that you need on a daily basis, the essential ones, and also all of the essential fatty acids are contained in liver. So liver, when you look at it in totality, it's not even a close race. Liver has already won the race, showered and went home, and kale is still huffing and puffing towards the finish line. I find it very humorous that just cheap ground beef is actually more nutrient dense than the dethroned superfood, which is kale. Now, for those of you who say, yeah, okay, great, I get it, it's a fact, but I freaking hate liver. I've got two things that you can use temporarily while you're training your palate to actually like nutrient-dense superfoods, like liver. One of them is Ancestral Supplements beef liver capsules. Taking 6 of these a day is like eating 2 ounces of liver. It's freeze-dried beef liver that is handled very gently to keep as much of the nutrition in it as possible. The second thing that you can use is Carnivore Crisps beef liver. It's sliced very thinly and then freeze-dried and salted with Redmond's real salt. And I like to use these as a vehicle. When Nisha makes egg salad or tuna salad or chicken salad, I like to dip that with one of these chips. It's very crunchy and it satisfies your chip craving, but also you're getting all of this nutrition that we just talked about in liver. As more and more healthcare and nutrition experts jump on the plant-based train and feel that you can only get superfood level nutrition from plants, I think it's important for your friends and family members to understand that if you're talking about a true superfood, it's liver. So please share this video with someone who definitely does not know this information. Tell me in the comments below, which is your favorite way to get liver in your diet and how often do you eat it each week? This is Dr. Berry. I'll see you next time.